Are you looking to grow your dental practice and attract top-tier new patients? Discover the potential of digital marketing with a personalized strategy session. Join Lila Stone, the marketing director at Ekwa, for an exclusive 90-minute consultation. Lila and her team will dedicate 6 hours before your meeting to create a customized marketing plan specifically for your practice. This valuable opportunity is free of charge and comes with no commitments. Visit www.insuranceuntangledorg/MSM to schedule your meeting with Lila today. You'll also receive a free analysis report so you can start transforming your practice through the power of digital marketing.
You are now listening to another episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast, where we explore the various challenges faced by dental practices due to their reliance on insurance. Join us in this podcast as we dive deep into the issues surrounding dental insurance dependence and offer practical solutions and strategies to help you take control of your practice's financial future.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. My name is Ben Tuinei, and I'm one of the co-hosts of this podcast that's dedicated to helping practices that are tangled up with insurance. Want you to meet my friend, co-host, and today I'm going to be interviewing Naren Arulrajah. Naren, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. And you?
Doing wonderful, thank you. So excited to talk to you about this whole concept of dealing with negative reviews. We all get them. And it's certainly one of those things that we could all use a refresher and a new course and a sort of new direction on how to deal with these negative reviews. So let's dive right into it, Naren. So the topic again is, what do you do with negative reviews, right? So first question, Naren, is should practices, especially those that have not yet set up their Google profiles or don't even know that they have one, should a practice expect to get negative reviews throughout their lifetime?
Yes. I do think this is a great question to start with, because negative reviews keep doctors at night. And I do think the simple short answer is, yes, you as a practice owner should expect to get negative reviews, because it's just reality of life, right? You can please most people, but you can't please every single person all the time. A lot of times it doesn't even have anything to do with you. I'm talking about genuine negative reviews. Perhaps they're having a bad day and you just happen to be the wrong place at the wrong time, or your practice was the wrong part of that day for them, and they're pretty pissed off, right? But then you also have your disgruntled employee is trying to hurt you, or your competition trying to hurt you. Those are negative reviews that really shouldn't belong. So those are things that's going to happen. So I think the step one is to not get stressed out about it, not worry about it. It's I love that serenity prayer, right? There are things you can change and there's things you cannot. And, the things you can change, of course, work on it. The ones you cannot, have the knowledge to know no point stressing about it and ruining the rest of your day, or making it worse for everybody around you because you're stressed out.
Yeah, negative reviews are tough. I remember when I first got my first negative review, and that was a long time ago. It keeps you up at night, right?
Yeah.
And had I known what I know now about how to deal with things outside of your control, it would have saved me many sleepless nights, right? We all wake up at night staring at that one negative review and then hating ourselves, right? Saying, man, I really suck, man. But that's one out of maybe hundreds, if not thousands of patients that do stuff like that. And I kind of feel like, in my experience there, when I saw my first negative review, I wasn't prepared for it. My mindset was totally not prepared and destroyed. So I think everything starts with mindset. What type of mindset do you recommend practice owners have? And I guess this is applicable for any business owner with regards to reviews as a whole, both negative and positive reviews.
Yeah. I mean, again, I like analogies. So all of you, finished a dental degree, who's listening to this podcast, you're all practice owners, you're all very successful people. Even when you were in school, whether it's, dental school or whether it's, university or even high school, I bet you didn't get every question right? I bet you didn't get 100 for every subject. I think 99% of us probably didn't do that. So, some subjects we did struggle, some subjects we aced it, and even the ones we aced, once in a while we mess up, right? Maybe carelessness, maybe we didn't get enough sleep, maybe, we didn't understand something and we messed up. So there could be lots of reasons why you mess up. So I think the way to think about it is just like, school is not like about getting 100 for everything. It's about getting into dental school or getting in, achieving your objective, whatever that objective is. Same thing with this, right? So reviews as a whole is all about helping your potential new patients decide to come to you. That's the only reason why we are doing reviews. And they're not expecting 100 out of 100 every single day for the rest of your life to come to you, because if they're human, they understand you can't please everyone, right? And to be honest, having negative reviews legitimizes you, as opposed to it feels like it's all artificial and it's all cooked up. So I do think keeping that perspective in mind. So on one hand, I would work on getting more positive reviews. Just like on one hand, I'm doing turning my assignments in, going to class, trying to get as much marks as I can for every subject, and maintaining my GPA. So at the end of the term, I do end up with a decent GPA. So I'll keep working on it. So same way, I keep working on getting positive reviews, because unfortunately, positive reviews don't just come by. You have to go work on them, because when people are happy, they don't take the time to stop and think and say thank you and appreciate you, right? When they're unhappy, of course they'll go and blast you in 17 different places. But so you have to put some energy to like turning in that exam paper, showing up to class, and making sure you do all the things that's supposed to be done, turning in the assignment, etc. You have to work on getting those positive reviews. And then when you do get the negative reviews, just like imagine you got a question wrong because carelessness, you didn't get enough sleep, whatever the explanation is, you try to work on it. Okay, next time I'll get enough sleep. Next time I'll beef up on that subject. So the next exam I should be able to do better, right? Or sometimes you can even do a makeup exam, right? So you have to kind of proactively work on reviews as a whole. And then when negative reviews come, don't let it affect you. Of course, we can talk about how to handle negative reviews, but I think that's one of your questions down the road. So we'll wait for that.
Yeah, no, I like that. Negative reviews are tough. I think we really have to work hard on our mindset to not let it bother us. We deal with human beings, and naturally human beings means there's sometimes going to be conflict, right? You can
Right.
never escape conflict no matter who you are. So with that said, Naren, with regards to reviews as a whole, like if I'm a practice owner thinking about, hey, I want to work on my reviews, what kind of goals should you be thinking about?
Yeah, I think at the very minimum, every single practice owner should get 10 or more Google reviews a month. 10 or more. I have seen practice owners that have set a goal of 15 or more, 20 or more, depending on how big they are and what's possible, right? 10 or more, if you were to break it down, it's literally one review every other day, right? If you're open 20 days a month. So it's not too bad, right? And again, there are techniques. I did a podcast on this topic. We'll put a link on our show notes. You can go and check it out. I think it was done on Thriving Dentist with Gary Takas on literally how do you actually make it happen? Set a target of 10 or more, assign a champion, meaning somebody responsible who's working on it daily. And then, say, hey, if we achieve it, you, the champion, get XYZ, meaning $100, $200. If you get 10, then if you say 100 for 10 and then 200 for, 15 or 20, the stretch goal. And then you also have a team helping. So for example, whoever has the relationship with the patient would be the one asking for the review. So set a goal, have a champion who works on it daily, and then celebrate. That's my short answer. And I think that's really the goal that I would go for, minimum 10 every single.
That's awesome. 10 a month, 10 a month. I print my goals in there right at my computer screen. I see them every day, every break. And since I started doing that, naturally the improvements are noticeable, right? When you measure them, especially. What about negative reviews? Handling negative reviews, Naren. How should one handle a negative review?
Yeah, now there are two types of negative reviews, legitimate ones and illegitimate ones, right? Legitimate ones is, real patient for some reason is upset. Doesn't matter whether it's your fault or misunderstanding, but they're upset. That's a legitimate review. And, illegitimate review is you don't even know who this person is. Perhaps a disgruntled employee who created a fake profile and is trying to come after you, or perhaps a competitor who hates how successful you are and trying to come after you. If it's a legitimate review, then I would recommend, saying something like, I'm really sorry the way you felt. Please call my office. I'll do everything I can to, address your concerns. But don't try to argue with them. Don't try to tell them they're wrong and all that stuff. But the key also you have to keep in mind is HIPAA. So you don't want to like disclose any private information because then you're violating HIPAA. Um, Now, if it's an illegitimate one, now of course we have a massive team. We have 250 employees, and some of them focus on the Google review piece, and we contact Google or any other third-party company. But like we are talking about Google right now because that's like the 90% of your success is going to come from Google. So we contact Google and say they violated your terms of service. Like for example, Google has so many things you cannot do in a review, and if you do, then we can get it off. So like think of it like a lawyer throwing out a case on some kind of a technicality, right? Like that kind of a thing. So you can like throw out a review on technicality. Of course, you need to be a good lawyer, a person who knows what those technicalities, and you need to know how to work with Google. The challenge is, as a practice owner, you may not know this because you don't live and breathe and working with Google, right? Especially Google reviews. So like if you are a client, you would let us know, and then we would deal with Google and sort it out. Doesn't mean every review is going to be removed because like I said, there are real reviews, and that's hard to remove. But if it's a legitimate review and we can find a technicality, we are definitely going to find it and we're going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But like I said, don't overthink this, right? I mean, if you're getting 13 positive reviews and one negative review, for every 30, that's great. Because that means your rating is going to be, literally like, 4.8 or 4 point something, right? So like you're going to do really, really, really well in the eyes of the patient. And that actually even legitimizes you. The fact that, once in a while you have those stray negative reviews.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know how well the reviews are being managed on Amazon, but I remember I was looking at a product a number of years ago, and they had over 5,000 reviews, and they were all 5-star. And I had a great amount of skepticism, like nobody's perfect. No product is perfect.
Yeah.
And sure enough, when I looked at the reviews, consistent poor grammar, right? And it was almost as if a computer system were making these reviews because the style of language was almost the same. And this is me not understanding the psychology of being able to detect if you actually wrote something that you sent to me, right? But you could tell, it's like, this all looks like it was written by the same person, right?
Right.
But what's interesting though is that when I do see 5,000 reviews and I see 4,500 positive, and then there's a mix, right? You tend to have a little more trust. But I see the negative reviews and I see how the business owners respond to them, and sometimes those responses make me cringe as a potential customer. What's your maybe I should ask, are there any no-nos when it comes to responding to negative reviews?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the number one no is do not argue with your customer, even if they're wrong, right? Do not, make them wrong. Like this is not about you and them. This is about the spectators who are watching. So like, remember every one of those reviews and your responses to those could be seen by hundreds or thousands of your potential customers. So if you're magnanimous, if you are like, take the high road, people respect that, versus telling them they're full of, like the customer is wrong and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Like, take the, take that approach. And the second thing is, that's the way you respond to them. Like, no, right? Do not argue, do not fight, and try to take it offline. Like, try to have them call you. Like, just literally say, hey, call our office. And then just try to like diffuse the situation and just bring it offline. Of course, if you can make them happy, and then have them come back and correct it, on their own free will without like, forcing them to do it. But I think that again would be like, oh, we had a small challenge. This is what the doctor did personally, call me. So now that turns into a really good positive. The other no is like I already alluded to is do not let this affect your psyche. Doctors are perfectionists. It can drive you up the wall. I've seen like doctors like calling me and getting so stressed out about, one of these reviews. Just take it easy. Just let it go, because it really is, if you had 3 reviews and one is a nasty review, then I would be worried. But if you have 300 reviews and 10 are bad, that's okay. Like I said, it's a numbers game, right? It doesn't really matter. Look at the average star, and then really go to work on getting those positive reviews. Go to work on, if you know that when you're doing that exam, there's one part of chemistry you're not good at, but the other parts you can do really well and you can still get 93, then go for the other 93, right? Don't get so stressed out about this 7% and, like let go of the 93. So just keep in mind, the big game is not about those 7%. It's about, okay, I can get that close to 100, which is the rest, right? So anyways, have a perspective. Don't let this stress you out. And when you are stressed out, you're not going to do great work for the patients you're seeing that day. You're not going to be a great leader for your team members. You become the problem. So never let yourself become the problem because of this review, negative reviews.
Gotcha. Is it smart to reply to reviews, like any review, or even negative reviews? Is it?
Absolutely. Every review you should reply to. And of course, our clients, we do it on behalf of our clients. And the reason is, again, it helps with the algorithms. Google loves it. And that helps with getting more, people to see you. But also like people are watching, like, I look at stats sometimes and the responses are seen 100, 200 times. And if it's a positive review, say, hey, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Of course, don't disclose any personal information because of HIPAA, but like in a generic way, appreciate them, thank them, and so forth, right? Again, there's certain techniques to it. And I think it's better to have your marketing company do this for you, because that way you don't have to worry about HIPAA. They don't know the patient. And also they'll do it consistently, right? I mean, hopefully if they are doing that consistently. So definitely do reply to every review and do it within a reasonable time frame, maybe a week, 2 weeks, but not like 7 months later, right? So just so people know that you are paying attention. You as a leader is paying attention. I mean, even great hotels, sometimes you see the general manager replying, and I'm talking about not the ordinary hotels, but the really nice ones. Because showing that you're engaged, I think, is really powerful, meaning the practice is engaged.
Yeah, I've only ever given businesses 5-star reviews. I've never once given anything less than a 5-star. If I didn't like something about it, I didn't review it, because businesses, for the most part, if they do a good job, they could serve you a bad meal today, but 99% of the meals that you eat are good, And so when it comes to reviews and replying, like what you said, Naren, I've left many reviews, and they're less than half of the businesses actually replied to those positive reviews, but I remember them. I remember, I kind of created loyalty towards those brands. So last question here, Naren, is that I know that reviews are a fantastic way to reinforce, or at least increase your credibility to people that are looking for a service that you offer. And so therefore they tend to make a great something that's really great for new patients, but sometimes just having reviews doesn't always work in terms of new patient flow. So practices that have a lot of great reviews, not seeing a lot of new patients, but want more new patients, what do you recommend for those practices?
Yeah, the reason perhaps you're not getting new patients is people are not finding you, right? Reviews is like after they find you, it's a way for them to say, yep, I'm going here, because if all these people are, saying one thing and that you're great, then you must be great. That's what the reviews do. But to help people find you, you need to do more than that. So I think, of course, you can rely on ads, you can rely on PPO plans to send you patients, or you could rely on SEO. I'm biased towards SEO because it's the lowest cost. And also once you earn it and you're able to maintain it, it gives you an advantage, year after year after year. Cost wise, compared to ads, it's like 20% of the cost. And with PPO plans, it's like 3% of the cost. So instead of $100, if you're with PPO plans to get a new patient, you'll spend $3. So now we help with clients with that. So definitely you can book what we call a marketing strategy meeting. It's a 1-hour meeting. We do a lot of work, figure out how well you are doing or not well, and the root causes, right? That's the key, right? If you are doing well, what are the reasons? And if you are not, what are the reasons? Once you know the root cause, you can do something about it. And then we'll also give you a plan if you are not in the top 5% of Google and, have that unfair advantage in terms of SEO. So that's where I would start. The link is insuranceuntangledcom/MSM. It's a $900 value. And definitely that's something that, I would start with if you're not getting enough new patients.
Awesome, Naren. Well, this is a fun episode. I appreciate you sharing all your amazing knowledge and expertise as it pertains to negative reviews. I certainly learned a couple of new things here that for my business as a non-dentist that I want to implement. So thank you, Naren, again. And then for our listeners, insuranceuntangledcom/MSM. That's marketing strategy meeting to request that particular offering from Naren and his team. want to thank you for joining us today on another amazing episode of the Insurance Untangled podcast. Without you, we wouldn't have a podcast. So thank you. If you enjoyed today's episode, give us a like, share this with friends on social media or any other platform that you currently use. Your reviews will help other doctors find our content. And by the way, don't forget to check out just our standard website, insuranceentangled.com, for our quarterly webinars that we're holding one here December 13th, 2024, as well as any other freebies that we're going to be posting and offering on a seasonal basis to our listeners. So thank you again for joining us. Until we meet again, we wish all of you the best of success.